So I'm going to finish up on True Blood season 7, and then we'll go into Bella Swan from Twilight, and I'll talk about some of the personality assessments on them, and also how predators use that against people. In Before we go to True Blood, I want to just say in Twilight, Edward tells Bella Swan that he is a predator and that is who he is. And we've been talking about how when you have the idea of a vampire, it's like the vampire has to fight their natural inclination to prey upon people. So, just having that in mind, we're going to go to Sookie in True Blood. In the previous video, I told you that Bill wanted her to kill him, and that would sort of end that whole relationship and all the things that he put her through. And at the time, she didn't want to. She ends up killing Bill. And she digs uh, the grave up, and in the coffin, she stakes him. And it's over. So he can't come back. Now, if they redo this series and bring the series back, I would love them to bring back Bill. I want them to bring back the cast that was in the first season. I hope they could do something like that. I don't know if they could, but I would love that. But in the end, you see that she's able to move forward with her life once Bill is gone. So, keeping that in mind, you understand a lot about how Sookie became what she went from season 1, who she was in season 1, to season 7. So he got what he wanted ultimately. And that's my point. There's something in a predator that once they select their prey, they figure out a way to get what they want from their prey. So ultimately, Sookie killed Bill. Now let's go to Twilight. And I'm going to go over Twilight and then the Twilight Saga New Moon kind of together. Ultimately, Edward gets what he wants from Bella Swan. He tells her that, oh, he's horrible, he's not a good person. And what does she do? She's like, oh, but I like you. So someone wrote a really good article, which I'll link in the description, about how Bella Swan isn't really decisive. She's going to latch on to the Cullens because they're exciting, and she doesn't want a boring life. She wants the excitement that he could offer. I'm also looking at it from the perspective of what Sookie went through from True Blood, which is that you don't really know in the beginning just what's going to happen. It's not like in the beginning the predator will say, I'm horrible and this is what's going to happen to you. No, it's like, I'm horrible, you don't really want me, and then you're like, oh, but you can't be that bad. And so it kind of goes back and forth with the predator. And that's what happened over the series True Blood. And you see how that's happened slowly to Bella Swan in the first Twilight. By the second Twilight, when she's been through so much, and she meets Jacob, who's the werewolf or the wolf, she knows what she's getting into, but she's already in it. So she becomes part of it. So she becomes, in a way, sort of a predator also. So no longer is she just prey, she's preying upon other people, like Charlie, like Jacob, like the people who see her as being normal. She's now part of the system of preying upon people, the vampire system. And she enjoys it. So unlike Sookie, who kind of says, well, I don't know if I want to be part of this, I'm going to now fight it. She doesn't fight it. Bella Swan doesn't fight it. And that's something that's different. So going back to what I'm saying in terms of when we're dealing with what we're dealing with, the abuse that we've been dealing with, most of us are constantly fighting this. We don't become part of the prey. And I think what the predator wants is us to become part of it and prey upon other people. So use us to prey upon other people. So as long as we're kind of fighting the predator, we are still not doing what the predator wants us to do. We're still in that fight, sort of like Sookie. Whereas to me, Bella Swan becomes part of the system of preying upon people. And when you look at it from that perspective, you start to see, well, a predator ultimately needs someone to help them. Predators really can't continue to prey without some sort of network of people supporting them in their predatory systems and their predatory tactics. So I think at some point, as a victim, you have to make a choice. Do you want to be part of the predatory system, or do you want to continue to fight? And I think as long as we're continuing to fight the predatory system, we will not be people who prey upon other people. Thank you for watching.